All right, so if you're moving goods anywhere in India, you've definitely come across something called the e-way bill. And yeah, it can seem a little complicated at first, right? But trust me, getting this right is absolutely essential if you want to avoid some nasty delays and penalties. So, over the next few minutes, we're going to break it all down, everything you need to know to handle it like a pro, from the why all the way to the how. Ready? Let's dive in. Okay, let's kick things off with the single most important number you need to burn into your memory. 50,000 rupees. That's it. If the stuff you're shipping is worth more than 50,000, you're almost certainly going to need an e-way bill. You can think of this as the magic number, the trigger that sets this whole process in motion.
So we've got the trigger number down. But what is an e-way bill really? Let's get right to the heart of it, what this document is all about, and more importantly, why it even exists.
Okay, so at its core, an e-way bill is exactly what it sounds like, an electronic waybill. The best analogy? It's basically a digital passport for your products. You know, before your truck even thinks about leaving the warehouse, you go online, you generate this pass, and it has to travel with the goods all the way from point A to point B. It's the official proof that the whole shipment is above board and compliant with GST.
So you might be wondering, why go through all this trouble? Well, the government had some pretty solid reasons for creating this system. First, it makes sure everyone is following GST law. Second, it lets them track goods in real time, which is huge for transparency. And, this is a big one, it's a major weapon against tax evasion during transport. And finally, it just standardizes the whole process, whether you're shipping goods across the street or across the country.
Okay, knowing the what and why is good, but let's be real. The question that really matters for your business is when. Like, when do I actually have to go and generate one of these things? Let's pinpoint those exact situations.
Now, here's something that catches a lot of people out. An e-way bill is not just for when you sell something. You actually need one for a whole bunch of other movements. For example, if you're sending goods out for job work, you need one. Processing a sales return? Yep, need one for that too. Even if you're just moving stock between your own branches in different cities, you guessed it, you'll need an e-way bill. It pretty much applies to any movement as long as the value is over that 50,000 rupee limit.
All right, so now we know when we need an e-way bill. Let's get into the nitty-gritty, the essential rules of the game. And trust me, you'll want to pay close attention here, because getting these rules right is what keeps you out of trouble.
Okay, let's break down these key rules. First up, who can actually generate the bill? Well, it can be the supplier, the person receiving the goods, or even the transporter. Now, what if you mess up? You've got a very tight 24-hour window to cancel it. And here's a super critical point. The vehicle number has to be on that bill before the truck starts its journey. And I'm not kidding about this part, the penalties for noncompliance are really severe. We're talking fines that could be as high as 100% of the tax value. So yeah, you want to get this right.
And another thing, these e-way bills don't last forever. They have an expiry date, and it's all tied to distance. The rule of thumb is pretty simple, actually. You get one full day of validity for up to 200 kilometers. For every extra 200 kilometers after that, you get one additional day. It's just a way to make sure the trip gets done in a reasonable amount of time. Okay, enough with the theory, right? Let's get practical. How do you actually go online and generate one of these bills? Don't worry, it might sound intimidating, but the process is actually pretty straightforward once you see the steps.
Now, before you even open your web browser, you need to get all your ducks in a row. A little prep work here will save you a ton of time. So make sure you have your tax invoice or bill of supply right there with you. You'll also need the transporter's ID or the vehicle number, and of course, the GSTINs for both the supplier and the recipient. Having all this info ready to go makes the whole thing so much faster and smoother. So, once you're on the portal, it's really just a four-step dance. Step 1, log in. Simple enough. Step 2, you fill out Part A, which is all about the invoice details, what you're sending, where it's coming from, where it's going. Step 3, you fill out Part B, which is all about the vehicle. And finally, Step 4, you hit Submit, and boom, the system generates your unique e-way bill number.
We're almost at the finish line. But look, just knowing the steps isn't enough. You also need to know about the common pitfalls, the little mistakes that so many people make. So let's talk about how to avoid those traps that can lead to some serious headaches.
So, what are those little errors that end up causing the biggest problems? You know, the kind of slip-ups that a checking officer will spot from a mile away. Paying attention for the next minute could seriously save you a lot of time and a lot of money.
Honestly, most penalties come from really simple typos and data entry mistakes. So here's what you need to double and even triple check. Make sure the quantity, the units, and the HSN code for your items are perfect. Check every single digit of the GSTN for both the supplier and the recipient. And make sure the distance you've declared actually matches the real distance, otherwise you'll have validity problems. And here's the absolute golden rule. You must generate the e-way bill before the goods leave your premises. Not during, not after, before. There are 0 exceptions to this.
At the end of the day, the whole e-way bill system is about being careful. It really rewards diligence. That little bit of extra time you take to double-check every single detail, that's your best insurance policy against fines and your shipment getting stuck somewhere. It's all about building accuracy right into your dispatch process. If you can get that right, you'll have a smooth, hassle-free journey for your goods every single time.